It's the end of a glorious Easter weekend. Well, this is the last of the matches in round 7, and the table sees Bradford on top. Wigan and St Helens are joint leaders. Now, if Huddersfield Sheffield win here, Leeds will go to the Challenge Cup final on Saturday, bottom of the pile, and Halifax will gate crash the top 5 if they win. This is the way the two sides line up. Namu is at fullback. It's Riley, Lovell, Gleeson and Hules the Frenchman, Chris Thorman and Gavin Clinch at halfback. And the forwards, Lomax, Russell, Lawton, Turner, Marshall and Hardy as the captain and loose forward. And on the bench, Sovatabua the Fijian, Malloy, Lawless and Yassine Dekish, the new signing from France. He's the pin-up boy of French International Rugby League. The coach, also the England coach, John Keir. Now the Halifax Blue Sox, Darryl Cardis at fullback, Gibson, Golden, Florimo's the captain and Oliver Marnes on the wing. Duneman's the standoff and Martin Pearson is the scrum half. Up front it's Goldspink, Rowley, Savelio, Mercer and Bloom and Martin Moana. And on the bench, Hobson, Peters, Foster and another Frenchman, Gail Talek. The coach, the player coach, the only one in Super League, Gary Mercer. Well, the crowd here at the McAlpine Stadium know that the Giants have never won consecutive home games in Super League, but they beat Wakefield Trinity's Wildcats here last week, and they have the chance for a small piece of Super League history here tonight. Greg Florimo, though, leads the Halifax Blue Sox out, aiming for a second away win of the year, and that would equal their achievement for the whole of 1999. 3 straight wins at the start of this campaign have been followed by 3 defeats in a row. They now are just outside the top 5, but as you saw on the table just a few moments ago, if they win here, they will be gate crashing the top 5 tonight. So Greg Florimo, a man who is ever present so far, a 1994 Kangaroo Tourists, leads out the Halifax Blue Sox side, and a team that on paper really could challenge for the top 5 this season. Mind you, so could the Giants of Huddersfield Sheffield. Just 5 wins from 29 Super League matches since 1998. It's been a struggle for them here. And the teams that have been beaten, Warrington, Hull, Sheffield, Halifax last year and Wakefield this year. They lost to Leeds on Friday by 10 points to 20, but it was a closely fought contest and a really big improvement on last year's performance at Headingley when they lost by 86 points to 6. So there's no doubt, Steve-O, that the merger between Huddersfield and Sheffield does offer some encouragement for the future here.
Well, certainly with the fact that they had their first win last week. It was a last gasp effort, should I say, and I'm sure it would have pleased their coach, John Keir.
The government-sponsored agency Sports Match. The Giants have benefited to the tune of £100,000, which will be distributed among sports organisations in West Yorkshire and South Yorkshire this year. Match referee Robert Connolly. Some extensive use of the video referee over the course of the Easter holiday, and Robert Connolly never afraid to go to the big screen if a decision needs clarification. Looks like the Huddersfield Sheffield Giants, and we'll call them the Giants from here on in for simplicity's sake. Looks like the Giants are about to get this game in progress. Depth of quality now in the squad following the merger. They only managed 5 wins last year, but there is the player coach of the Halifax Blue Sox, who hopes he has done enough to plot the downfall here tonight. So we're underway. Underneath the kickoff, Martin Moana. The kick taken by young Chris Thorman. And Martin Moana takes the first tackle of this match. Paul Rowley is the dummy half. Here comes the player coach, met with a good, strong challenge by Dale Lawton. Some very familiar names in this Giants side. This is Brett Goldspink. Good tackling though by Huddersfield. Brave run from Goldspink. Rowley gets the ball away to Lucchini Savelio.
Good defence though by the Giants. working overtime in the... Oh, that's a knock-on. That's a bad mistake.
First mistake against Savelio, the Blue Sox prop forward.
All over the top of him, and he was trying to get himself free and then just completely lost the football. Not happy with it. Looked at the touch judge, thought that it was reefed out. Not so, says Robert Connolly.
Savelio made his full debut against Warrington on Good Friday. That's Gene Namu joining the line for the Giants. In at dummy half there was Foreman. Gets the ball away. Here is Carl Lovell down the wing. Pearson got to him. Good tackle. Hardy was the dummy half. They're moving it along the line. Here's Lawton again. Lawton face to face there with Rowley and with Goldspink.
Good work by the Giants. There's the coach, John Keir.
Very confident this morning, by the way, that his team would win here tonight and send Leeds to the cup final, bottom of the table. That ball stolen in a three-man gang tackle, or is it a high tackle according to referee Robert Connolly?
And you see Moana going right over the top. No doubt about it. Chris Thorman would have felt that. Moana, the loose forward. Well, a silly penalty give away early in this match. Spoke to John Keir only last week, just before they took on Wakefield, where they had their first win of the season. He said that they've had problems with injuries, and that when he gets a full squad back, which they are virtually near to that now, he reckons that his side will come up with quite a few shock wins this season.
And Gene Namu with the first penalty of the evening. He has kicked the Giants into a 2-0 lead, and John Keir, you're right, he believes he will have a fighting force on his hands by the end of the season. That's an encouraging start for them, the fact that Namu has kicked the first goal.
Interesting selection, of course, by John Keir. Gene Namu playing for the Huddersfield Sheffield Giants at fullback for the very first time. Of course, on the wing he has Paul Riley, a recognised fullback. So a tactical move there by John Keir.
That's Sylvain Houles, the French international. He plays the ball to Namu, spills it inside to Lawton. Good tackling from Halifax here as the Giants get over the advantage line. Danny Russell in at dummy half for them. Goes down the short side. Moana and Goldspink in there quickly. Big
battle in the hooking role, of course. Danny Russell always at the heart of things in the Giants against Paul Rowley.
Gavin Clinch, formerly with Halifax Blue Sox, gets the ball away. Good tackling there, though, on the far side of the field by Marvin Golden. Russell again, it's with Clinch. Skips away from Golden, chips it down the line.
Good chase, but it wasn't the best kick, and oh, they've missed him.
Cardis, he doesn't need any invitation to have a run from one end of the field to the other. Just ask Leeds about that. Mercer now for the Blue Sox. Difficult to call them Blue Sox tonight, predominantly in white, but the socks are blue. And Florimo gets to his feet. Wild pass on that occasion from Rowley, but it's collected by Jamie Bloom, South African. A real League of Nations out there tonight. Martin Moana now, or is that Savelio? Savelio it was. Duneman, the Australian, wide to Pearson. Good run from Pearson. Good support as well from Gibson. They've missed one tackle, they must score. Great tackling back by Riley.
What a tackle.
It was on the last, it's the turnover. It saved a certain 4 points. Riley on Pearson.
Superb stuff there. And he knocked the ball out of his hand. It went backwards, but that's play on.
Halifax have come up with it as a mistake early in the tackle count by the Giants. This is Florimo. Florimo attacking down the right-hand side. In to the dummy half goes Oliver Marnes. Marnes to within a couple of metres of the line. Mercer, Duneman, wide again to Moana. Moana trying to outmuscle them. Another wasted pass, really.
Should have offloaded a lot earlier than that. The try line was begging.
Rowley again. Chances for Bloom. He slips the ball in the tackle, back to Rowley. Oh, and almost the interception there by Paul Riley.
Took the gamble, just didn't stick. See the hooker Paul Rowley send the ball out wide. Well, it was a try saver from Riley that saved the day for the Giants. He would have been well away there. Daryl Cardis was up in the attacking line. No one was at home.
John Keir anxious that his team don't give the Blue Sox a start tonight because they're pretty slow starters. But here's Cardis. Good run from Cardis, attacking down the outside.
Good sliding defence though. They forced him out towards the touchline. Didn't take any dummies.
Marnes to Duneman.
That's good defence. You could see they forced Duneman back onto the right-hand side.
Marnes again in at dummy half. Mercer to charge towards that line. But again, the Giants' defence stands firm. Rowley missed out Goldspink, found Florimo on the bounce. Florimo with three around him. Good scrambling defence, but he gets the ball away to Marnes. Rowley again. Here's Duneman looking for Pearson wide and finds him. Now Jamie Bloom. Jamie Bloom up the middle, straightening it up the South African. But the Giants defending stoutly, resolutely, keeping them out. Can they for another? Duneman slides the kick across.
Big chance there for Golden.
Away from Golden.
Well, nice little passage of play. Halfback just dinked it in. You could see there that Paul Riley had gone away from the whitewash. He was in no man's land there, was a winger. And Marvin Golden going very close indeed.
Marvin Golden, he was named on the team sheet as to play in the centre tonight with Damien Gibson on the wing, but looking at the formation of the Blue Sox, it looks like Golden has taken a place on the wing. It was Golden who was so close to the first try then. Good tackling this time from Rowley, and the ball comes out. Lovell spills it.
Well, plenty of nerves out there. It was a big impact by the hooker. Really slammed him to the ground. Bad mistake by Carl Lovell.
Yes, Lovell arrived with the merger. Impressive, and he's scored a try in 3 of the 6 in Super League. Duneman kicking early, looking for the speed of Cardis. Clinch is after it. Clinch got their first massive in-goal area here, by the way, at the McAlpine Stadium, and Clinch punched it dead.
Great to see positive play straight from the scrum base. And it was Duneman that knew the man had plenty of speed, and Daryl Cardis certainly has got that. But Clinch came to the rescue.
Gavin Clinch. It's a goal line dropout for the Huddersfield Giants. Clinch, well, it almost went to his opposite number, Duneman, then it missed him and missed Mercer, and so Oliver Marnes picks up the pieces. Rowley, the dummy half, looking for his player coach and finds him.
Well, it's good scrambling defence by the Giants, but how long can they hang on?
Moana, it's all pressure on the Giants for the opening 9¼ minutes.
Halifax have had 3 golden opportunities. Only great scrambling defence back has thwarted them.
Goldspink disappears, and there you can see the massive in-goal area that awaits the attacking players.
That's the reason why Andrew Duneman opted for that kick straight from the scrum base.
Here's another from him as well. This will hang in towards that in-goal area, and it's been dropped. It's come back. Rowley, then it goes inside, and there's the first try of the match. No problem for Daryl Cardis. Robert Connolly checking with the touch judges. A big blunder from the high kick from Duneman. The ball was spilled. It was play on, and there were 2 and 3 Blue Sox players there waiting the opportunity.
Beautiful high kick from the standoff, Andrew Duneman. And this is the reason why they're pinpointing the winger Paul Riley. Good work by the hooker. Offloaded, thought about going on his own. Well, he really is in the thick of things, isn't he, the standoff Duneman? But they obviously feel that Paul Riley has a problem in defusing the high bomb, and Cardis, well, they threatened so often, didn't they? That's the 4th opportunity And Halifax, the Blue Sox, have got the first try.
Improved by Martin Pearson from bang in front. That's his 22nd successful kick of the year. It's 6 points to 2 to the Halifax Blue Sox. A big blunder by Paul Riley, although he really was the star of Malcolm Reilly's reign here at the McAlpine last year.
Well, it's no coincidence that the Blue Sox are playing towards Riley's wing.
But what a player this fellow is, Daryl Cardis. Outstanding earlier in the year, particularly that try against Leeds, remember? The 80-metre charge up the line. John Keir not looking best pleased. Another start his team has conceded the opposition. That's something he didn't want again here tonight.
Well, it all came about with that mistake from Carl Lovell that allowed Blue Sox to have that possession. And it's mistakes like that that certainly does not impress any coach.
Good strong run from Brett Goldspink. Tracks 3 defenders to him. Turner was one, Lovell was the other, Thorman the other. Savelio, good defence this time though. 4 of them swarming round Savelio, who was carrying the football. Duneman now. And he's inside his own 40-metre mark. If this finds touch, it's a 40-metre, 20-metre kick.
I think it's
and
there.
It has found touch.
Superb. This man is in top form. 40-20. Blue Sox will have head and the feed. They are kicking the Giants well and truly out of this match.
Steve-O, we've seen quite a few of those 40-20s early this year. When you consider, I think Leeds it was, who only managed 1 throughout the course of 1999.
That's right.
But it's such a wonderful tactic. It can turn defence into attack. But the Giant player did actually jump from the field of play and knock the ball back in there.
I think the touch judge got that wrong. Well, they're fortunate there.
Well, this could be an absolutely vital decision for the Giants, because Mercer is looking for a try. He gets it back to Rowley. Rowley wide, it goes to Pearson, and Pearson attacking up the middle. Bloom has all the strength in the world, but he's just hauled back 2 or 3 metres short of the line. Well, the touch judge might have made a big decision in favour of the Blue Sox here. It could be controversial too if they score. And here's Cardis again, off the ground. He gets the ball to Moana. Moana running flat, looking for Savelio on his inside, finds him. Oh, and that's good tidying up by Danny Russell.
Read it ever so well.
Well, he's got the touch judge out of jail.
Has he ever? Savelio trying to keep the ball alive, and this is the incident. He came from the field of play. His feet never touched the outside, so therefore that should have been play on. Now, whether the touch judge had a player in front, couldn't see it, but that was a let-off.
Gaining a little bit of confidence despite all that, the Giants. Good movement from them now with ball in hand. Clinch. It was on the halfway line, so it wouldn't be a 40-20 if it went out, but Golden made sure it wasn't going out. Ooh, and a risky pass, but it's to Cardis, who loves to run like this from broken play. Here he goes again. He's got 3 in support. Moana, they're going to score here. Cardis has scored 1. He's created another. And Moana goes in under the posts. Martin Moana scores, but put it down again to Daryl Cardis. Collected the long kick downfield, beat a couple of players with a couple of steps, and they flooded forward in support. 1 of 4 could have scored it. Moana did.
Superb running and good work from Marvin Golden. It's always risky business, but you could see they'd put the chase and they failed to force him back down the middle. It was very lax. Back on the inside. An easy stroll for Moana. Created by Cardis, offloaded, but you have to point the finger at the Giants chasing on that occasion. They put 4 down the middle and then left the gate open out wide. And I hate to say it, you've got to point the finger at Paul Riley yet again.
Bang underneath the sticks. They're easy for Martin Pearson. He has kicked that. The Blue Sox are ahead by 12 points to 2. And what a night so far for Daryl Cardis. And remember, he's playing in front of the England coach. here tonight. Darrell Card is giving John Keir a little nudge, bearing in mind that when Super League is done and dusted in October, we begin the 2000 World Cup. Martin Moana will probably be playing for the New Zealand Maoris in that tournament.
Well, John Keir, the Giants coach, will be bitterly disappointed with that. It's no good having 4 or 5 players running down the middle into the chase if you leave the gate open out wide. You all have to move up and force them into a certain position.
And they'd played with such confidence for a couple of moments with the ball in hand, the Giants.
Biggest problem is they have not had much possession though, Eddie. Remember those 2 mistakes, and it shows there quite clearly that is their problem at the moment. The Giants cannot get hold of the football.
Rowley can't either. Danny Russell all over the back of him, who
went backwards.
Will Robert Connolly say? Well, he's given the penalty to the Giants.
Well, what on earth has he given there?
Well, he obviously ruled that Danny Russell had the ball.
Well, he said he's holding him, and then now he says he's back chatting. Now, it went behind him, and he went for the football. He got it back. What on earth? Well, how on earth he could give that Danny Russell had taken the ball off him is beyond belief.
Well, that's obviously what he ruled, because he went and stood with what he thought was the defensive line of the Blue Sox, and then Rowley got to his feet, played the ball, and so he's ruled a penalty.
But Danny Russell had never, ever had any control over that.
Got nowhere near it. Well, Namu kicked an early penalty, and there's an opportunity to kick a second here, and he's managed it. That reduces the arrears, but again, a controversial decision from Robert Connolly.
Well, he keeps them in contention. This is the incident again. Goldspink kept the ball alive, and there was no problem that he had it there. How on earth can he say that Danny Russell has got the football? He might have had his head, but he certainly didn't have the football. Maybe Mr. Connolly thought that Paul Rowley's head looked like the football.
Maybe so. Riley is underneath the kickoff.
I could have understood it if it was the other way around. I mean,
steady.
Danny Russell doesn't have much hair. Ooh, leading with the elbow there.
And that was David Lomax. And Bloom has felt that. He's down. Dale Lawton was almost through. Good tackling on him by Mercer. There's Danny Russell. Saw a little gap. Duneman and Savelio quickly closed it.
Well, Jamie Bloom's just trotted back into the defensive pattern. Check and see how many teeth he has.
Good kick from Gavin Clinch. It will stand up though for Cardis. Flooding forward, and they know they've got to get to Cardis quickly. Can't let him make any ground.
Well,
Clinch managed that.
On that occasion, the Giants did move up as one unit and left no option for either side. That's why they completed the tackle.
Oliver Marnes scrambling, diving, no penalty forthcoming, but now there is, because they were offside. The Giants
just creeping out on that blind side, well spotted by Robert Connolly, and quite a few to select from, wasn't there? Well, again, the biggest problem for this Giants outfit, they've got to try to get back into the game and control the traffic. In other words, get possession.
Bloom was the dummy runner. Goldspink spun in the tackle and found Paul Rowley. He finds his player coach Mercer.
Good play by Goldspink to offload, but I'm afraid the Blue Sox were a little bit slow to anticipate the offload. There was no one on the second phase of attack.
Here is Florimo. Get the feeling that Florimo is a man on a mission to try and prove that Wigan were wrong to let him go. They didn't see the best of him, he reckons, at Wigan last year. Now Cardis has chimed in again. Clinch and Hardy with the tackle. Bloom was the dummy runner. It's with Moana. Gets away from the first would-be tackler, Danny Russell.
Now then, will they pepper Riley yet again with his kick? Now they're going the other side.
Coming this way, Duneman will stab it through. The Frenchman thought about letting it go, and in the end took it over the line himself, Sylvain Houlès.
Again, this Duneman controlling things with a kick. It was well weighted. Hules had no option at the last moment to go over the dead in goal line.
And again, the reason why the Giants have so much pressure coming on them here again is because of those really deep in goal areas here. And anywhere else that would have been dead in goal.
That's right, but they're utilising it very well indeed. Dunneman has been involved with all the attacks, and he's the reason why the Blue Sox have had most of the possession.
Here's Dunneman again. This time they're watching him like a hawk. Lomax was in there.
Trouble is they're just hanging off. They're not moving forward quick enough. They're not applying the pressure.
Good run from Bloom. Rowley gets it away to Goldspink. Thought about the offload. That's the last one. They're bang in front of the sticks again. Little stabbing goal, but it didn't quite get there. Namu cleared up.
Good position by Gene Namu. Anticipated that kick at least. Not the best though from Paul Rowley.
Here's Hules. Remember when we saw the international England-France the back end of last year? Hules let it be known he was desperate for an opportunity in Super League, and the England coach John Keir offered him that chance.
Well, he's certainly got plenty of speed.
Offside now against Halifax.
Well, it'd be a huge sigh of relief for the Giants coach John Keir that his side has found time to at least control it over the next 5 minutes. Let's see what they can do with it now. It was an encouraging start by the Giants. Oh, he's knocked the ball on. It's a penalty, is it now?
It's a penalty, yes. Dale Lawton was dispossessed by the ball being flapped out of his hands, and it was a two-man tackle.
Yep.
Big hit by Goldspink first, and then Savelio coming in. But more ground here for the Giants maybe to expose. That's Lomax on the drive. But Paul Rowley doing well to hang on to him. Here's Thorman looking back on the inside, and he finds Darren Turner. Malloy is on the field as well, I notice. He was the man who fed Clinch there. And that is Richard Marshall. Richard Marshall hanging on, formerly, of course, with the Blue Sox himself. Like this fellow was, Gavin Clinch, who pops it back. It's the Blue Sox turn to defend. Malloy, flying tackle by Rowley. But good quick play of the ball. They could be stretched here. Thorman, wide it goes, looking for Hules. He's planted the ball down. Hules believes he scored the try.
So do I.
What say you, Robert Connolly? He's having a chat with the touch judge. He's going to go to the screen. Chance for the video ref to make his first decision of the evening. Just a bit concerned, I think, about whether he managed to plant the ball down before being forced into touch.
No problem.
You can hear the reaction in the background.
Beautiful long pass by Thorman. Well, the first opportunity, 2 penalties, allowed the Giants to, for the first time, to launch an attack, and they've come up trumps. It's good work by the winger. The Frenchman squeezed in at the corner, no doubt about it. This will be TRY.
And try it is for the Giants. Home side are back. Sylvain Hules, signed this month from Trey Catalan in France. That's his first try in the Super League.
Good work. Forwards down the middle, and then the long ball by Thorman. And he just allowed too much room for the Frenchman. Oliver Marnes just caught in no man's land in the end. It was a difficult decision for Marnes. There were 2 men opposing him. But Hules gets the Giants back in.
Great moment for the 18-year-old, but he looks like a choir boy, doesn't he? Sylvain Hules. First try, out wide. And the most difficult kick that Gene Namu has had to face so far tonight. 21 New Zealand caps for Gene Namu. He was a regular for them for 5 or 6 years. Not a bad kick. That's a great kick from Namu. They're back in it, the Giants. A giant lead for them, 10 points to 12.
was a great conversion, and it was also a great pass. Look at that, superb. Poor old Oliver Mans, he was in a lot of trouble. 2-on-1, which allowed the Frenchman in for the try.
Well, Sylvain Hules will remember this night when he got his Super League try-scoring exploits up and running.
Well, that will
O'Reilly now for the Giants.
Boost their confidence, Eddie. They really didn't have little of the ball, and the first real threat. They've come up with a try. You can't ask for much better than that.
Lomax, it certainly has upped their spirits a bit. There's Thorman again. Good kick over the top as well.
Turning the full-back around, who slips. This will give him extra metres forward.
Oh, it's a knock on!
Knock on. What a huge mistake.
Great kick.
By the full-back, Daryl Cardis.
Great kick, great chase though, which put Cardis under all this pressure. That slip didn't help.
Well, not the best thing to do is to run around in front and face the opposition sticks to pick up the football. He would have been far better trying to pick it up, running towards his goalpost. If he fumbles it that way, it's always odds on that it's going to go backwards.
So here is an opportunity for the Giants again. The scrum fed by Clinch. He finds Thorman. Thorman cut down by the tackle from Duneman. Namu gets the ball away. That was Martin Gleeson. Namu again. Clinch looking for the runners. The runner was Marshall.
Now they can the half-back combination click yet again. Thorman and Clinch.
Penalty, pushing and shoving at the played the ball as Marshall was trying to get up to his feet. It was Andy Hobson who is the guilty party. Well, was it a push?
No. And he's a bit bemused.
And this kick from Namu that's on its way as a result of this will level the scores.
He just lost it. No doubt about it. The big fella Marshall.
I noticed that Greg
just loses it. He tried to play the ball quickly and lost it.
Greg Foddermo's had a long discussion there with Robert Connolly about why this penalty has been given. But Richard Marshall has done well for his team. It's the 5th penalty for the Giants. And Namu's kicked a couple. And now he has kicked 3 penalties, that is. 1 conversion, Huddersfield 12, Halifax 12.
Full credit to the Giants. They really were on the rack. 4 wonderful opportunities for the Blue Sox to rip them apart. They did that with 2 tries. And at a point where it looked as though they were in full control of this game.
Well, John Keir before the match pointed to the fact that his team give the opposition a lead far too often. Remember, they were 22-4 down against Wakefield a couple of weeks ago, came back and won. In this match, after a quarter of an hour, they led 12-2, did Halifax. And John Keir has seen his men in the last 10 minutes get the game back to level pegging. So game on at the McAlpine Stadium. 29 minutes on the watch. And the Giants, well, if they win, they'll send Leeds to Murrayfield at the bottom of the table. It's almost unthinkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's surprised a lot in the rugby league world, but full credit to all the other sides. They really do seem to lift themselves when they play Leeds. It's been a horror start for them.
It's evaded Cardis again. That flicked off his knee. This time he picks it up facing his own line, but a great chase downfield. Super chase led by Danny Russell. And Russell working hard at the marker position as well.
Just shows you the importance of once you get your kicking game right. Oh, that's good work. But they're offside, moved off the mark far too early.
Yes, not standing square at the play of the ball.
Just got a little bit overexcited, did the hooker Danny Russell. You can see there he wasn't standing square.
Jeff Hardy, the man pinged by the referee, Robert Connolly. Well, that lets a little bit of the pressure off the Blue Sox. Hobson with that drive in, big collision as well. Here's Gary Mercer, gets them over the halfway line. We said it last time we saw Halifax. Must be so difficult for the player coach out there on the field with his men, but he's got Martin Hall and company on the sideline watching things from on high. Martin Hall, the former Wigan hooker, you may remember. And here's Mercer again. He's always involved in the thick of it, Gary Mercer. New Zealand international once upon a time, 33 years of age now he is. It's his 60th appearance for the Blue Sox here, the player coach. A bit too fancy by Bloom, and he fooled Martin Pearson, who wasn't waiting for the pass.
Well, you can't blame Bloom. It was a good pass. Pearson really should have got that. It wasn't as though he wasn't looking for the pass. He had his eyes open. Bitterly disappointed.
Martin Pearson knocking on. It's the Giants who have possession. Darren Turner now, over 100 appearances for Sheffield Eagles for him. Here though is Gene Namu. Oh, that was risky business. Hules turned it into a decent pass though.
Oh, it's got to be a flop.
A flop from Marnes, it must have been.
Well, the referees avoided it.
Hules looks like he's been hit by a
elephant gun.
Okay. I was gonna.
Well, that should have been a penalty. Slides in with the knees, and that's painful. Tackle is being completed, and there, the knee hits Oliver Marnes, did not miss. Touch judge now comes on.
And funny enough, the touch judge from the other side of the field, the opposite side of the field, from a certain big screen.
Oh, they're not allowed to look.
Well, he's run from one side of the field to the other to make a report to the referee.
Well, the flop was sufficient for it to be a problem anyway. But the way that he slid in with his right knee was a bigger problem for the French winger.
Well, he's put the incident on report, and he's said play on to Hules, no penalty.
Well, he obviously did not see anything. Touch judge did. Took him a while, as you mentioned, Eddie.
I was going to say, when did the touch judge see it?
At the same time we did on the replay.
Well, we had him for a flop before the replay, to be fair. Thorman with a booming kick, and this is fooling Cardis. Marnes, great tackle by Hules. Lovell should have scored. Cardis did well, to be fair. Lovell thinks he scored.
Well, again, the kick from Chris Thorman. Well, in the first 20 minutes of this half, it was all Halifax. It was Andrew Dunneman that was controlling things with a boot. Now it's switched around. It's a standoff from the Giants, Chris Thorman. And they were very lucky indeed there, were Halifax to not concede a try.
Namu collects, tips it inside to David Lomax. Good strong run from Lomax. Bloom felt that. Here's Malloy. The Giants look a different proposition since he's been on. Pressure from both sides resulting in a couple of goal line dropouts, so Namu puts it down.
That really wasn't the best pass. It was telegraphed all the way. Clinch back on the inside, and the fullback Namu knew he was going into what we call the hospital pass situation.
So here is Martin Moana for the Blue Sox, spinning away from a couple of tackles but couldn't get away from Jeff Hardy. Florimo now. Suddenly the Blue Sox know they're in a match. They've been given the customary start by the Giants.
Good work there by the loose forward and captain Jeff Hardy. Worked very, very well at the halfback situation. They've scrambled back well of the Giants.
Mercer with the drive in. Malloy standing firm. England captain in the 2 internationals against the French last year, Malloy. Now a driving run from Hobson, he's through the first line. There was no one coming up on his left-hand side. Pearson scampering into dummy half. The kick's not a good one. Didn't get his angles right.
Well, at least they can now apply the pressure. Good work on the blind side. He was trying to get the ball into the in-goal area. Just a little bit off target.
Well, Martin Pearson needed 2 points for 400 for Halifax in 2 spells at the club before tonight got going. He's got 2 goals now, so he's past that little personal milestone. Here's Turner. And Malloy again. Whoa! Leading with the arm into the chin of Florimo. He didn't like it.
Florimo went back, gave him one.
Thorman to Clinch, and Clinch does well, makes a bit of space for himself. And he's scragged to the floor by Pearson.
He's lost that.
Play on, says Robert Connolly. Big kick downfield. That's going to spin out. That's going to be... No, it is.
20,
well
is it?
done.
No, well done from
well
Cardiff.
done by Cardiff.
Well, they deserve that because Clinch definitely lost that football in the previous play of the ball. But that was a good case. This is the incident here. He loses it. It comes off the knee of Pearson.
Certainly didn't plant it on the ground with full control at the play of the ball.
Full credit to the Giants. They really have got their defence sorted out. It had to be on a scrambling technique early in the match, but oh, that's a big gamble.
Hobson, it bounced off. Oh, brilliant in the end. Pearson, they'll counter-attack now. No, they won't. Russell will try and counter-attack. Ball is all over the shop here.
Back to 6. Hit a Giant's hand.
So Duneman to run this ball across the face. And again, they've got men in support out wide. This is Oliver Marnes. Man is on the inside. Bloom goes round Gavin Clinch. Bloom will go to the posts, and the South African touches down. Well, a comedy of errors on the centre line. Well, he's handed it on to the video referee, and he's probably looking at all the schmozzle that was on the centre line as the ball went hither and thither, back from one side to the other. But he did wipe the tackle count down. He gave Halifax the possession, and they have come up with the try.
What are you looking for?
Well, now then, if you get a situation where he waved it back, that means he can only go back to the incident. Now, no doubt about it that was a knock-on, so it went back, and this is the reason why Robert Connolly said back to 6. It certainly came off the Giant.
Yes, it was the foot also of Marvin Golden was there.
Danny Russell was the man that touched it. You'll see the referee, there it is. He's waving back to 6, so why on earth is he going back? What's he going back for?
Well, I think he's concerned as the way that the ball came back for the Blue Sox.
No hand there.
All over the show. The ball was...
There is a knock-on.
That's right.
But the referee's seen that. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said gone back to 6. I just can't understand why Robert Connolly has actually gone for this video referee. Nothing wrong with this. It's a perfectly good try.
Yes, that's it.
That is the incident that he was looking at. And Bloom went on a really strong run down the middle. And this is going to be a try, I think.
No doubt about it.
You're right. Try is given. Robert Connolly wanted to check to make absolutely sure that there wasn't a knock-on the other way, but he wiped the tackle count down. So Pearson again from bang in front. He has the extras. It's been easy for Martin Pearson tonight. 18-12 to the Blue Sox. We're on the stroke of half-time or thereabouts.
Well, this is the incident. Knock on there. You'll see the referee wave back to 6. So therefore the referee has seen it. He knew that Danny Russell had touched it. But what on earth is he trying to look for here? It has me baffled.
Well, at the end of it all, the Blue Sox lead by 18 points to 12. Rowley gets the ball away. Oh, and that was taken from Goldspink. Not one-on-one, two-on-one. Turner thought he was away. Referee checked with the touch judge. Penalty to Halifax.
Well, not only 2, there was 3.
3, there was.
Turner, no chance of getting away with that. Now then, extra pressure for the Giants. And Halifax produced. This is the sort of moment where you've got to put on one of your set moves. They'll take one drive and then maybe the switch to the blind.
Another try right on the stroke of half-time, just what Gary Mercer would have ordered. Good movement from them as well. Pearson, and he threw that ball back for Cardis, and Cardis was actually flat out in the ground. He'd lost his footing. Bloom, score of that latest try.
Well, that's the second time we've seen Daryl Cardis slip.
That was quite bizarre though, wasn't it? He threw the pass and it actually landed in his hands. He was flat out. Duneman, wide it goes to Moana. Duneman again picks up the pieces. Gary Mercer, they want it fed out right. Pearson goes the other way though, gets away from 2 would-be tacklers. Moana loses it. Good play by Danny Russell. He was on the deck then when he pinched the ball. Well, that's the half-time siren. The Giants were trailing 12 points to 2 after a quarter of an hour. Then they got their act together. It was 12-all with 13 minutes of the half remaining, and a bizarre try from Jamie Bloom. 18-12 it is at half-time. Bloom the man in support. There was nothing wrong with the final touchdown. Blue Sox ahead, who trailed by 18 points to 12, but the margin of the lead should be greater. Look, it's 3 tries to 1. The boot of Gene Namu has kept the Giants in this. And it's going to be the Blue Sox who will get the second half underway. Shrill blast on the referee Robert Connolly's whistle. And can the Giants fight their way back into a winning situation? John Keir was really, really confident before tonight's game. Mind you, having said that, so too was the Halifax player coach Gary Mercer. He said, Steve-O, since he had last been on Sky Sports as our guest in the studio, his season had gone to pieces. 3 wins out of 3 when he arrived with us, and now 3 defeats on the bounce. He blames us, of course. Well,
I don't think he'll be worrying about that whilst he's out there on the paddock. And I think that the stat that I gave you at half-time was the fact that Huddersfield, Sheffield Giants only offloaded once would have given a lot of concern to John Keir.
Good kick, it skips away, but I don't think the kick from Thorman was inside the 40-metre area, and maybe Robert Connolly will just check it, and he does. My first impression was he just stepped over the line. Let's see. Oh, he's way inside it.
Nothing to worry about there.
He's way. I had it as the dotted line. Way inside. That's a great kick from Thorman.
Well, it took him a while to get into the swing of things, but this will be head and feet for the Giants. So important is this new rule. It really is a classic rule.
Great kick from young Chris Thorman, 19 years of age, 3rd in a row at standoff, and here he is now in possession. Gets the ball away once again, and Martin Gleeson, another teenager, outstanding discovery last year. Gavin Clinch, Turner to drive it in. Ball comes out again. Oh, and Steve Malloy was hanging around.
Well, it was a case of you have it, no you have it. In the end, they just got to it in the end.
David Lomax. Decent side on paper, this Huddersfield Sheffield Giants outfit. All they need, a couple of results, couple of wins, and the confidence will boost. And here's Thorman. Thorman showed it to Turner, flicked the ball back instead to Carl Lovell. Lovell would love to get over that try line tonight, because I can tell you on a t-shirt underneath his jersey he's got a mention for the Kiwi coach Frank Endicott.
Big hit from Goldspink there.
Russell fires it over the top. It was almost on its way to Lovell. Stabbed through. Oliver Marnes will collect. He tidies up and does well. No, he doesn't. He's forced back. Great tackling by Darren Turner. Drop out from underneath their own sticks. Great enthusiasm from Turner there.
What strength. Look for all the world that Marnes had escaped it, and look at the big fella there. Get over there. Second effort from Turner. Tackle had not been completed. Bang. Marnes was surprised with that.
Let's go.
So goal line dropout from Martin Pearson.
Good line.
It's over the halfway line, and it's collected by David Lomax again. Lomax back after suspension tonight. He had a year with Paris Saint-Germain in Super League in 1997. Steve Malloy. Russell now. Here's Clinch. On it goes to Jeff Hardy. Hardy looking to attack down the right-hand side. The door quickly slammed in his face by Moana. Russell again. Clinch. The runner is Malloy, met by Goldspink, but he just bounced off the big Australian. Russell again. Thorman. Turner, and he is put on his back by Jamie Bloom's tackle. Last one. They're running it, at least they are for the time being. Lovell with a high kick. That's a great kick too. No pressure though on Darryl Cardis. He defused that bomb in goal.
Kept his cool. Eyes on the football at all time. Knew they were coming towards him.
Opening pressure then from the Huddersfield Giants. Halifax now trying to get the ball out of their danger zone. This is Andy Hobson. Has played in the last 30 league and cup ties for the Blue Sox. Almost to halfway. Golden's the dummy half. Goldspink, he carted over halfway line. Let's get the news of what was said at half-time in the dressing rooms. Bill?
Well, obviously with a scoreline as it is, Eddie, both these sides feel they have the winning of this game, perhaps more so the Halifax Blue Sox.
As Pearson is fed. Oh, but he loses the ball in the tackle. It went back. It wouldn't be a knock-on anyway from Paul Riley.
Trying to get the ball away and just lost it. Good work from Paul Riley there. Again, he comes to the rescue. Did it a couple of times in the first half. Oh, it's going to be a penalty interference.
It is.
You've got to move away. It's no good arguing with the official.
His leg between your legs.
As soon as he's done the tackle, he has to roll away. You can't just lie there.
Well, let's go straight back down to Bill.
John Keir, the Huddersfield Sheffield Giants coach, pretty satisfied with that first 40 minutes, but as Steve-O highlighted at half-time, the offloads that the Blue Sox are getting away with are what's doing the damage, and they really have got to try and wrap them up in the tackle and then stop them creating these dangerous positions. If they can do that and grind it out, that's what they're aiming to do, the Giants, then they think they can pick this game off. But as Hardy comes up with another error, that's not what John Keir wants to see. Gary Mercer out there with his Halifax Blue Sox sides reckons they've got the beating of this Giants team if they can get the ball out wide. They think that the Giants are vulnerable on the wings. That's what they're looking to exploit.
Well, he went back to 6 there, and as you can see,
Lomax held his head in his hands, didn't he? It was an awful pass.
elementary mistake.
So more pressure on the Giants' defence here, and it's Florimo again. Florimo who fed Pearson for that earlier chance, and Pearson caught for the second time tonight by Paul Riley. Here now is Mercer. Angled run from the player coach. Good tackling by
Thorman. The ball pinched off him.
Thorman has pinched it.
Good work there by Thorman. Mercer was running the angle.
Sovatabua's on. Here he is. Big Fijian international. Normally a full-back.
Well, he's certainly got the attacking skills. That was great work there by the standoff, Chris Thorman. Is that a fine match?
Russell feeds Hules out wide. Russell scampers in then to dummy half. A lot more urgency about the early moments of this second 40 minutes. Ooh, that's a tricky bounce for Marvin Golden, but he did well. Watched it, collected it. and then manages to offload. Such a tricky customer to put down. Damien Gibson. Golden away from Sovatabua first time.
Again, we see that scrambling defence from the Giants, but will it take its toll? Oh, he's pinched the ball.
Goldspink had the ball nicked from him yet again, and that was Gavin Clinch. Here's Turner. Tried to make a quick play the ball there.
Surely that wasn't completed tackle. He just ran into the men, stopped and played the ball. Well, that was strange.
The ball back on the inside, Malloy. Now Jeff Hardy again. Sovatabua chimes in. Russell, Namu, Thorman dabs the ball towards the in-goal area. Oliver Marnes has got work to do. Oliver Marnes has got a lot of work to do. Grounded in the in-goal area. Great chase downfield.
Did well to get back there. He's a bit disappointed. He really should have gone on the straight run. I think he had the speed there and decides to step at the last minute. Slips. No. Well, he just went to play the ball, and I mean the tackle wasn't completed.
That's Darren Turner.
Clinch so quickly. Just on 1-on-1 before the others came to him. Quick thinking on Clinch's part.
Goal line dropouts from Halifax 3 times. So Huddersfield, Sheffield Giants are forcing them into the goal line dropout. Catching them, of course, in goal, which gives them a chance to launch yet another 6 more tackles. And here's the next batch of 6 coming at the Blue Sox defensive line now.
Well, the Giants are persevering with the inside pass. They're turning it back on the inside all the time.
Russell,
good play from the hooker.
Sovatabua. His arrival on the field, Sovatabua. You would think that Nama will be pushed further forward. That
well, what
was
on earth are they doing
here? The ball.
They've got to complete the tackle first, surely.
Thorman wrestled to the ground.
Well, some of these players are taking the refereeing job into their own hands.
The referee has just said if anything develops from this, he wants to see that 3rd tackle. That's the 5th and last. If there's a try here, it'll go to the video ref. He's going to go to the video ref. Lovell has scored. He won't celebrate just yet.
Please. He just got to the 3rd tackle.
3rd tackle.
To make sure there was a correct play of the ball. The 3rd tackle.
Well, he's still moving. And watch this. They're still trying to get him down, and he puts the ball down. You can't do that.
Well, it's not a knock-on. Has he tried to play the ball, or has he just tried to release it a la rugby union style? That's what the video ref's got to decide, Steve-O.
Well, the referee has not call held.
It just comes out the back door.
Well, as soon as it releases it, is it a knock-on?
Looks like he's just trying to recycle the ball to me.
Well, a la rugby union, but...
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case then, but is that ungentlemanly conduct? It's not within the spirit of the game. And believe you me, there are certain rules and regulations that come under the ungentlemanly conduct situation. I mean, that is an unfair passage of play. He's tried to play the ball whilst the tackle has been incomplete. Oh, I think the video refs will want to wish that Easter goes away very quickly.
Carl Lovell is watching, as we all are. Watch the decision. The try is given. Now then, will Carl Lovell show us his T-shirt, which has a message for the New Zealand coach Frank Endicott? No, by the looks of things, he won't. But the video referee has allowed advantage to the Giants.
Good work by Clinch. It was a real skeptical run by Greg Florimo. He took the gamble. Watch Florimo go out wide. He went for the intercept. Left an easy passage for Lovell to score. You cannot afford to do things like that. Greg Florimo well and truly out of his position.
That's another superb kick from Jean Namu, who has brought his kicking boots with him. We're all tied up here at the McAlpine again. 18 all.
Well, controversy yet again. It's pretty difficult to watch for Florimo go out of the line. Oh, left a huge gap. Gary Mercer will be far from impressed with the centre Greg Florimo's actions there.
Well, Jean Namu is 5 from 5 with the kicking tonight. Kicking for the first time. Matt Crowther is out of the Giants lineup. But he is no stranger to the kicking. He once kicked 12 goals in a match for the Auckland Warriors in the World Club Championship 1997. But I tell you what, the way he's kicking here tonight, he might have the job permanently. He's kicked magnificently. John Keir will be well pleased. A lot of spirit in this Huddersfield Giants side. Clinch, and they really are bossing this second half. Sovatabua at dummy half. Moana was there. Johnny Lawless on the field. Ige kick from Thorman, well collected by Cardis. Well, they know all about him running from broken play. Offside. Huddersfield, Sheffield, too quick out of the blocks.
Relief for the Blue Sox. They really were being put under a lot of pressure. Full credit though to the Giants. Clinch has started to combine well with his half-back partner Chris Thorman, and they're starting to create a few problems in this Blue Sox defence.
Hobson with that first charge in. Here is Rowley. Rowley gets it away to Goldspink. Got to do a lot of work, Goldspink. Just as we talked yesterday during Warrington St Helens, it really will come down to fitness at the end of the night here.
That looked a forward to Gary Mercer.
Here's Florida. Oh, that's not the best pass.
That's
Bounced
back to
off
6.
Turner.
We'll take the first knock on.
Got by Halifax, then it came off Huddersfield afterwards.
Well spotted by Robert Connolly there. Florimo back inside. And as soon as Pearson dropped that football, he didn't have to hit the ground, of course. As soon as he lost control, he's the first culprit for the knock-on, irrespective of what occurs after that. And it was well spotted by the official.
Well, Carl Lovell threatened to produce a T-shirt, and the words on it are you watching, Frank? Because Carl Lovell fancies playing for the Kiwis in the internationals and indeed in the World Cup later this year, but he hasn't produced it, Steve-o.
No, rather surprising. I think perhaps he feels that it's somewhat fortunate the video referee gave them the nod.
I'm sure that wouldn't have stopped him.
Maybe he realises that Mr. Endicott might be on a jumbo jet somewhere over the Indian Ocean.
Sovatabua again.
Well, he certainly lifted them. Sovatabua.
Malloy on to Clinch. Oh, it's good ball to Thorman. Thorman inside to Namu. Namu almost through. No second phase of attack.
Good support though by the fullback Namu.
Johnny Lawless. He'll add a little bit of aggression to this Giants attack. They're within 3 meters of the line. Thorman, long ball into the arms of Turner. Gary Mercer repelling all borders. That's the last. They're still 3 or 4 meters away from the try line. Good high crossfield kick looking for Paul Riley. Well claimed though by Marvin Golden.
Tremendous work there from Golden. They were hanging around him just like a limpet mine, but he got it. It was a nice kick over as well. What a great effort.
Oliver Marnes is on his way again for the Blue Sox. Marvin Golden doing really well in defence. Nice stepping run from Rowley. But
no support.
No avail. No, he was stepping on his own. Mercer flicks it back. Duneman, long ball wide. Moana, oh, lost his footing at the vital moment. Bloom, on it goes.
Back to 6, offside. He was in an offside position. Surely that should have been a penalty. He was well
in front,
offside.
he was.
Yeah.
Got the ball down Huddersfield. Come from an outside
Either
position.
way,
No advantage.
Blue Sox will
Halifax head and ball.
get the head and ball.
And he said that he came from the onside position. Duneman again. Interesting that he's playing Duneman at standoff and Pearson at scrum half tonight. Gary Mercer, something he began, I think, in the game against Warrington on Good Friday. Good strong run again from the he leads from the front, doesn't he, Gary Mercer?
Goes on it no other way, does he?
Hobson, over halfway they go.
It's good defence though by the Giants.
They've got the thought of something here, have the Giants. Moana offloads, Florimo applies the brakes, comes back this way. He's on his own though. It's all a bit one-man rugby at the moment from both sides, isn't it?
Well, both sides looking a little bit tired.
That looked as though it might have floated forward, but Oliver Marnes presses on regardless for the Blue Sox. That's the last, this set of 6. Rowley, Duneman again, look out for the kick. Over the top.
It's a good
Paul
one
Riley,
too.
it's almost beaten him, it has beaten him, it's a try for Gibson.
Has he got it down though?
Well,
that's the big
another
question.
decision for the video referee coming up here.
Set the screen, please.
Over to you.
First of all, make sure it was
Mr.
onside
Video
of the
Ref.
kick. Secondly, make sure we grounded the ball correctly, please.
2 things to look for then.
Onside, that's okay.
Looks all right from the high shot, doesn't it?
Yep, but I'm not so sure about that Gibson got it down. Control pressure, that's what is needed for TRY time. Does he get it? It's bobbling all over the place. No. It just bobbled up at the final minute, second should I say. Now does he knock on first? I think he does. No real control, but what on earth was Paul Riley doing here? Took an eternity to try to get to the football. Well, you can't call that control. Though I've seen belly button tries given before.
I was about to mention your famous phrase from last year. I don't think it's touched his hands yet, has it? Came off his chest.
Well, is that control pressure? I would say no. I'll go for NOTRY.
You're absolutely right. The spelling is first class.
For a change.
Gibson denied.
Well, it deserved it because it was a superb kick by Andrew Duneman.
And didn't it bounce unkindly for Paul Riley? It bounced and turned, almost changed direction, and Riley was left floundering in his wake.
Didn't bounce all that kindly for Gibson either. Although he took an eternity. On a bit of a yo-yo game, isn't he, Paul Riley? Saved 2 certain tries and created some opportunities, but come up with a few errors as well.
Thorman to clinch, and it goes to the big man Malloy.
Well, do either side start looking towards the 1 point, the field goal? I think that both coaches will perhaps be trying to get the message across, of course.
Good defence from Marnes, and it was brave too, he was hurt in that. Thorman's little chip kick through, and Hules and Thorman were after it.
It's been one of the highlights of this match, kicking duel between Thorman and Duneman.
Here's Golden, he's moved in off the wing, and that's the reason why. Hungry for work, good play though from Danny Russell to hold him up.
But again, no support.
Rowley's there now. Cardis lost it. Namu. Duneman with the tackle.
He's hurt. Gene Namu really caught a bad knock there.
Grimaces in pain as he plays the ball to Paul Riley. Riley enveloped by Moana and Duneman again, just inside his own half of the field.
Talking of that one drop goal, of course, Gary Mercer being out on the paddock certainly can marshal his troops to get into that position. What an awful situation that is.
Another huge weekend of rugby league coming up. North Queensland Cowboys against St George Illawarra Saturday 9 o'clock. Warrington Wigan then bank holiday Monday. Yes, there's another bank holiday. Next Monday at 11 we'll be at Wilderspool for the visit of Wigan. And this time next week we'll be in the middle of Halifax again, this time against Castleford at the New Shea. Another huge weekend of rugby league coming up, and of course you'll also be able to enjoy highlights of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup final with us on Saturday night on Sky Sports 3. It's 9:30 on Saturday evening. Gail Tallick is on the field for the Blue Sox, another Frenchman. Gary Mercer. Good ball, back to Pearson. Inspirational pass from the player coach.
Can they withstand this pressure?
Duneman. Wide ball into the arms of Bloom. It flicked off the legs of Clinch. Ooh, Bloom was after it. Clinch had to hack it dead, and Clinch is badly hurt.
Straight onto the sand. Nice work from Jamie Bloom. Came off Clinch, ricocheted away. Just gets there. And the force of Bloom going through, and that would hurt. Pretty solid out there.
He's off the pitch. He's off the pitch.
Turned a little bit of the skin off. Twisted the ankle also, by the looks of things.
Maybe cracked the ankle on the edging for the pitch. Anyway, they battle on without him for the time being. Mercer inevitably has possession for the Blue Sox. Here goes Florimo. 20 minutes of the match remain. Rowley gets it away to Hobson. Good strong straight run from Hobson.
He's lost it. Was it ripped out? He'll go for the knock on.
He can't believe it, Andy Hobson.
He said it was ripped away, but he lost it completely. There was no interference there. Doesn't matter how many times. There was a bit of a ricochet. Maybe he could have, but he had control for a while, and then it just disappeared over the top. Not too happy.
Lovell.
Well, neither side have been able to set up for the one-pointer. Plenty of time, of course. With the first opportunity, I think I would be taking a pot shot.
Well, it was 1918 last time Halifax were on this pitch against Huddersfield last year, and the academy match that was played immediately before this game finished all square at 20 points apiece as well. So there's just a wafer-thin line between the two of them. I wonder if you've spotted a man of the match performance yet, and where's it come from, more importantly. 09009 10 10 13. 2 grand final tickets up for grabs here tonight for you. Make your calls now, the lines are open. Cast your vote. The match will be won in the next 18 minutes, and so will those tickets.
Solid defence there. Lawler's got the shoulder into Golden.
Moana. It's the question now, Steve-O, of which team can last the pace for the last quarter of an hour or so.
Pretty heavy pitch out there. Takes its toll on the legs. And its toll on the errors situation for both sides.
Good kick again over the top. Oh, it bounced straight over the head of Carol Cardis. He was herring after that, and Sovatabua just waited, and it dropped into his arms.
Trouble is, there's only one man doing it. Look at that. They are jogging at the Blue Sox side. Only the fullback, Darryl Cardis, showed any intent to try to get to the football. That's an ominous sign for the Blue Sox. They're looking tired.
This is Hules. Good tackle by Damien Gibson.
He's worked hard in defence, that's for sure, as Gibson.
And De Quiche has come on, another Frenchman. So a lot of people have been wondering what this young man will play like in the Super League, the pin-up boy of French Rugby League. Oh, almost an intercept there by Florimo. And they know they got out of jail, because that would have been a try all the way to Greg Florimo.
Yeah, but that's the second occasion that he's failed to catch hold of the football. Remember, He went for the big intercept which allowed Lovell the try.
I think it was Chris Thorman with the pass out wide. He will be a relieved young man, but maybe not, because inevitably the Blue Sox have the possession from the scrum. That's Pearson. Oliver Marnes at dummy half. Martin Moana waits. Duneman is the next man. Golden now. And there is number 31, Dakish.
Well, surely Mercer will be telling his chargers go towards the sticks.
Well, that is Gary Mercer. He's running slightly away from the sticks, but Moana's pointing the way towards them. Maybe a one-pointer on the way. Talek puts the ball to the deck.
Sometimes you give them a job to do, and you could see quite clearly that the eyeballs looking at the man coming towards him.
Well, it's an encouraging display for Huddersfield Giants.
Shown a lot of spirit to come back into this match. They've been on the deck on 2 or 3 occasions.
And Halifax desperate for the win after 3 in a row. Defeats. Good defence from Damien Gibson. Quarter of an hour remain.
It's important now that the Blue Sox try to keep the Giants in their own quarter. That means that it'll mean an enormous kick to try to get them out of trouble.
Good defence from Blue Sox here. 18 metres made in 4 tackles. There's going to be a kick here.
40-20.
Gavin Clinch stands up. Marnes collects its second bounce.
Good kick and chase.
That little Frenchman, Dakish, number 31, is a real flyer, by the way. That's a great run.
Looking for the opening.
Talek. 3 players on the field who will surely be involved in the French World Cup bid this year. Talek, Dakish, and also Hules for the Giants. But this is Florimo. Wide it goes to Oliver Marnes. Turner was there to him, but Marnes got away. Strong run again.
Good effort. Surely that's going to be a penalty. Trying to slow them down.
Roll it to Moana. He almost went without it. Still Moana. Back to Rowley. Oh, great pass round the corner. Duneman. Duneman scores under the sticks. The Australian Andrew Duneman, his 3rd try of the year 2000. The try is given without reference to the video ref, and Andrew Duneman gets the try that maybe will break the Giants' heart.
Good work from Paul Rowley. Got the ball away. Great catch there from Martin Moana, but when he gets it here, look at the hook of that. And he uses the referee well, doesn't he? Duneman, sensational work. But this, the pass from Moana, and then watch the neat pass to the dummy. Out of it, Duneman used the ref perfectly. Could it be the game breaker?
Maybe so. Quite a talent, formerly with the North Queensland Cowboys. He began his life at the Gold Coast. And again Pearson bang in front. No problem from there. 24-18.
There you see, he uses the referee so cleverly. Boom, straight through. They appeal to the official, but nothing was going to stop him. Got a fine match.
John Keir's men have it all to do again. Just let me check. I don't think in this match they have ever been in the lead, and they haven't. They've had to come, oh yes they have, from the 3rd minute when Namu got the penalty. They led 2-0 for 7 minutes, but from the 10th minute onwards, the Giants have been playing catch-up, and they've done it well so far. Can they come back again?
That's going to be a penalty. He reefed the ball out. Oh, he's given a knock on. Well, Gary Mercer can't believe it, neither can I. Oh, I'm sure that Clinch had a hand in there, but the official didn't see it. Yeah, he punched it. Well, it's things like that that can turn the game. Clinch definitely punched at the ball.
Now then, Dakish. Cardiff's got to him. 11 minutes to go. Are they going to come back yet again? Lawless was clapping his hands, wants to get on with it. Good, strong drive in from Lomax. Dumped to the ground. The Giants know this is an opportunity for them. Russell switches the direction of the attack. Whoa, big hit. Andrew Duneman spotted the man, his opposite number, Gavin Clinch. Bang, and Clinch again. They were after him once more. Now there's a chance. Namu skirting outside. He scored. They don't know when to finish, the Giants. They keep coming back. That's a try. Gene Namu, what a night he's having with the boot. Now he's gone over for the try, and the Giants will not allow this match to slip beyond their grasp.
Full credit to the fullback, Gene Namu. Good work back on the inside. Clinched it ever so well. He threw the dummy. Nothing that Mercer could do about it. Tired legs. Oh, off he went. Desperation from Mercer. Gets it down okay. The Giants are back. Keeping the ball alive. See how 2 went out of the line. That's always going to leave them short. Neat little step. Neat dummy. Fine try.
Well, he's a great player for 5 years. First choice test halfback for the Kiwis. And a great signing for the Giants. Now then, 5 from 5. How's he kicking here? Not bad. We're level again. He punches the air. John Keir hands down some late hints of how this match can be won. 24 all.
They took the gamble. Moana came out of the line, so therefore it left their defence short. Namu takes full advantage. He's had a fine match.
He's had a great match. He's kicked 6 goals from 6. He scored a try. He's been engineered in chief.
Well, what a thriller this has turned out to be. Seesawing event.
And David Lomax. Well, who's going to win it then in the last 8.5 minutes? It's there for the winning, and there, oh, that was almost Dakish, and a dream debut for him. Russell, back it goes to Sovatabua. This fella's got strength. They wrestle him to the ground.
They need a good drive, and it'll still be a long distance attempt at 1 point perhaps.
It's been scrappy at times, this match. It might not have had the quality of Warrington St Helens last night, but boy, it's competitive again. 24 all. Down the throat though of Golden. Halifax will come back at them.
Not the best kick from Clinch.
Any man of the match votes wanted now. 09009 10 10 13. If it's a draw, both clubs nominate, and Steve-O makes the pick. And Namu would have to be a contender.
My lips are sealed until the final whistle.
And we don't know who either side's going to pick anyway, Steve-O, so no point making your mind up just yet. Goldspink falls like a tall oak.
Still won't tell you. Oh, nice chip.
Lovely chip from Pearson. Cardis is after it. Bravery from Namu. Pearson and Gibson.
It was a great option. Absolutely wonderful option, but Namu playing for the first time at full-back for the Giants. That's a good effort.
Lovell with the run, Duneman with the tackle. Riley down the short side and all on his own.
Valuable meters forward though.
Foster was the man who got to him. Lawless, Clinch, Sovatabua, wide it goes. Thorman on again, Turner on the charge.
Another drive, surely they've got to go for it.
Thorman, good ball. Here is Dakish. Off the ankles, play on. Clinch up and over the top. Lawless keeping the ball alive, the Giants now. Gleeson plays the ball. Back it goes, it's the last one. High up and under. The up and under from Thorman. Flick back. Chance here for Dekish. Just cut down by Greg Florimo.
Did he touch it?
It's the turnover.
The turnover. He had to check with his touch judge there. Well, Dekish went late. Nearly had the opportunity, but he definitely touched it. They've got the right decision there.
Poules with the touch, Dekish with the run. A little French double act.
Sounds nice, Dekish and chips.
Dekish Lorraine, we better not go down that route, I don't think.
Certainly not Lorraine, anyway.
A man with an international palate is alongside me. Poules is down. This is a run from Duneman. They want the kick. Gibson pointed the way. Gibson's after it. It's been dropped. Gibson will score. Oh, he's gone to the video referee inevitably.
First of all, make sure the guy was onside. And secondly,
onside, offside.
make sure Halifax did not push the defender off the ball.
What about pushing and shoving the defender off the ball? Well, here's another conundrum for the video ref.
Offside, no. Beautiful kick from Duneman. It was a great break. Definitely came off Namu. It popped up. It nearly... He got there. Little doubt this will be TRY time. Oh, what great handling skills in the end. But superb play by Duneman. That's the mistake. It was Clinch that came up with it. And bang, Gibson. That's heartbreaking. Again, the Blue Sox take the lead.
Well, that's Steve-O's view. The video referee has the final say. John Keogh's making his way down to the touchline. Watch the decision. The try for the Blue Sox. Gibson. He pointed the way to Duneman. He said, give it a kick over the top and I'll chase it. And that's exactly what he did, and he came up trumps.
It deserved a try. This was superb play. Just went on the inside. There was nothing they could do about that. They held off. He pushed away Gleeson, got the kick in. Clinch tried hard. So did Gibson, but came up with a four-pointer. Gleeson slides in. Goes too high. Get out of the way. He has an option. Does he pass? No. He kicks superbly. Definitely Clinch touches. Gibson gets the third time. Says it all. Smile on his face.
Well, we haven't seen a kick missed so far tonight. We still haven't. Pearson adds two more. 30 points to 24. Halifax Blue Sox. Not too long for Huddersfield Sheffield to come back, but don't tempt anything.
Outstanding effort, just a little bit tired attempt from Gleeson. Trying to make the impact, ball and all, but this is excellent work. He knew he was being crowded out. Good stuff.
Damien Gibson, the Welsh international, a fractured cheekbone against Wakefield. He missed 3. He returned against Warrington on Good Friday. Giants gone for the short kick-off. They've got the possession. They're not done yet. The Giants aren't done yet. That was a good tackle. Moana forcing the knock-on.
He was just trying to offload there, Clinch. And Moana came in with a cruncher. Boom. Grabbed at the arm, not at the ball. That's why it's a knock-on. What a time to come up with an impact like that. Disappointment on the face of John Keogh.
Well, he knows there's 3.5 minutes to go. There's still time. That's a knock-on by Pearson.
Went backwards.
He went backwards. He got away with it because he was facing his own line.
He was lucky there. Oh, Gene Darmo getting a bit excited. Went backwards.
But about as he brought it back in, it looked like he'd lost it then, going forward.
Maybe he could have. It was a little one, but not seen. And he did well there. Full credit Martin Pearson, because it could have been a voluntary tackle if he did not start moving again. He did that.
3 minutes to go. Blue Sox in possession. Giants desperate for the ball back. Mercer bounces off one. Just couldn't keep on his feet. That's the last. There's going to be a big hoof downfield here. Duneman with the kick over the top.
It's got the backspin on it, and it stood up nicely.
So Dakish, time for I was going to say a length of the field try, but Marnes and Florimo had other ideas. Halifax desperate for the win to get into that top 5 or thereabouts. Oh, risky business under their own post, but the Giants have got to gamble now because they need the victory to climb off the bottom of the table. And if they play with this spirit, Steve-O, for the remainder of the season, Huddersfield, Sheffield, well, who's to say that they won't be off the bottom?
Oh, what a mistake that is.
Who's to say they won't be off the bottom, though? Poor old John Keir, it's frustrating, isn't it? Who's to say that they won't be off the bottom before the end of the campaign?
Well, let's hope that they can get things sorted out. But you could see there that Gleeson took his eyes off the football, looking at the man coming towards him. It's a shame. Tired. Gleeson, he missed the tackle, remember, on Duneman that created the Gibson try, and he's come up with a very costly error.
Moana. Thorman tracking him all the way, holds him down, but this is a golden opportunity for the Blue Sox to wrap this match up now. They're less than 10 metres away, and this is Mercer, and he releases it back to his scrum half.
Well, all they have to do now is drive towards the sticks. They know the time is on their side.
Pearson. That's exactly what he's doing. Plenty of tackles left. Rowley, Goldspink, bang, turn and spin. Foster.
Will they go early? Will they go this time? They
Back
will. No.
Pearson went for it, ducking under the challenges. Back to Florimo, and great defence from Lomax and Malloy. This
Who's
is the last
standing
one.
deep?
It's Moana. He's missed.
Well, I'm not so sure that Martin Moana was the man that really should have put himself up there. I would have thought that Martin Pearson would have been better served to put over the 1 point. Now it's just a matter of strength in defence from the Blue Sox to hang on. They've got to try something different of the Giants.
And they're doing it.
What a great tip on there from Clinch.
Thorman. 15 seconds to go. John Keir on the edge of his seat. 10 seconds to go. They need to kick it over the top. Foreman does that, collects it, flicks it on.
Forward pass, surely they've got away with it.
Ball tipped back inside. They've still got it. And again, no. Marnes has come up with the possession. Gibson didn't like the tackle on him by Lovell. Referee blows the whistle. Touch judge is in.
It's all over.
Has it finished?
It's all over.
Pushing and shoving in the back play. Robert Connolly. There could be a penalty. No, game over, says the referee. It's all over. Halifax Blue Sox have won a hard-fought victory at the McAlpine Stadium. Gary Mercer has his men back on track. Carl Lovell got a try in the second half. Can't believe he's ended up on the losing side. Neither can Danny Russell. They really played their hearts out. Lorimer and Turner eyeballing each other as they leave the field, but to the victors, the spoils. Halifax Blue Sox get a really important win. 5 tries to 3 tries. They've won the match 30 points to 24.